the one that my brothers had that got me into Ninja Turtles, where like they had bought it and I don't know which one, and I grabbed it and thought it was because it was black and white. I thought it was a coloring book.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Somewhere between science and superstition.
We have such sights to show you.
Strange Eons. Welcome to Strange Eons Radio. That is Eric over there.
Hello.
That is Vanessa over there.
Hello.
And I am Kelly. We've been doing this every other week thing now, and I got to tell you, it confused me last week when I was like, where's my episode at? What's going on here? And I realized, there is no episode this week because I said no.
Yeah, you put
Very
your foot
strange.
down.
But a couple other people reached out to me too, like our friend Jeffrey Gould, who is also known as Joffrey to Vanessa.
You know,
Betcher.
He reached out and said, did you mention something about the episode not coming on this week or something? And I said, yes, we have gone to a 2-week schedule. And he said, you know what? I remember that now. So
what a very valuable thank you, listeners, for your care and consideration. We miss you too.
he's been sending me, ever since he sent me that ghost thing, he's been sending me a bunch of haunted ghost videos.
Oh my God.
And I've gone down the rabbit hole on a couple of these that are pretty fucking creepy. So
Fun.
yeah.
The worst is like when you guys share something like that and I'm like finally catching up on our conversation feed as I'm in bed trying to go to sleep. And I'm like, you fuck. Now I'm in the dark with the lights out. Anything could be in here with me. I've got this in my head.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Best way to read horror novels.
Indeed.
This is why I don't read horror novels. It's fine.
I've seen some movies, you guys. I finally got to see Sinners.
Good. Oh, all right.
Wow. Okay.
Oh.
What was your take on it?
Very good.
Okay.
It's interesting. I have heard from people who really loved it. Eric, it went into your top 10 films of all time immediately.
Potentially, yeah. Got to see it again, of course.
And then I've heard from people who hated it.
Yeah.
And I was like, why did you hate it? Well, the vampires were stupid.
Sure.
I was like, were they stupid? Well, they weren't cool. I was like, well, they were Irish. I guess that's not very cool. I think he wanted them to maybe be 30 Days of Night, terrifying monster vampires or something.
More makeup.
I was like, this is a bad argument for hating this film.
Yeah. I read some guy's take on it like yesterday, I think. It wasn't that specific, but it was all about the vampire part of the movie. I'm like, well, that part was fine. It was entertaining. I thought it was fun. I love the music part.
Yeah.
And he thought that was it was so boring. It took so long for anything to happen. I'm like, did you ever watch From Dusk Till Dawn, dude? This has been done before.
God. Yeah. It's a very unconventional storytelling method. So I can see why people who have very specific expectations that if you do not meet, they will hate.
Sure.
Like, I can see that happening. So it makes a lot of sense to me that people would backlash. But I feel like it's too bad because they're really missing an opportunity to enjoy something different. And like, I don't know.
Not a sequel. Yeah. Not a remake.
Exactly. By black people? My God.
Without getting into spoilers, I had talked a little bit to you what some of my issues were. The one missed opportunity, I really thought they were going to kind of somehow pull in the idea that these white vampires came and stole the black man's music. Yeah. And I was like, this is where we're going with this, right? They're going to come here and become, bluesman vampires after they leave and all this. And that didn't happen at all. I was like, this is kind of a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
And it had the one trope that I really, really hate in any kind of siege movie, which is when somebody specific dies, everybody pauses, including the bad guys who are attacking everybody. They all are like, hey, a little respect. This guy's girlfriend just got killed.
Yeah. we all like this guy, right?
Okay, game on. And I hate that. And I think there are very easy ways to write those kind of things out of stories because it just drags me out immediately while someone is having a very passionate death scene. I'm like, what's happening with all the vampires who are attacking? And in fact,
they're getting in their dance line.
We actually see them in the background just kind of standing there.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was doing great with this movie. Why did you make me think?
Yeah.
So,
Fair.
Yeah,
but
no
what a
problem.
great movie and what a great soundtrack. I think I sent you they're releasing the double LP
Really cool
soundtrack.
looking.
Whoa. That's pretty cool.
So-
The scene with the music when he first plays at the club, that that weird dreamlike thing, it's just like, fuck this.
Where it goes into the next generations
Yeah,
of music and all that
it's
stuff.
Wow.
There's also a scene there at the end that I really enjoyed. And if I'm being honest, this movie is a lot of similarities to From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm being honest, the story I would have rather seen is whatever happened between this movie and that end scene when the two people show up in the club again. I was like, that's the story I wanted to see. So if there's a Sinners 2,
Yeah.
I hope that we get to see everything
life.
between there. Yeah.
Oh my God. Can you imagine all the encounters? Like, because I was sure that maybe he'd become like a vampire hunter because he has like the knowledge,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
and he's got the big scar and, you know, those guys with those strange stories with the supernatural.
Yeah.
And then he would recognize anytime somebody comes in to like hear his band play who's
Yeah.
otherly. It's like, oh, fuck, does he like, is this his thing? He just invites them in and then he takes them on. But yeah.
Oh, I can't remember what I was going to say now. There's something about the music. It's available streamer rental now.
Yeah.
So if
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
if
just
you've
came
been
out.
sitting on it, don't sit on it anymore. It's really, really good.
Really, really good for sure.
Sinners.
Well, I watched Final Destination Bloodlines.
Oh.
Did either of you guys get a chance to
I
see
haven't.
this?
No.
Okay.
I was a little surprised that I have a weird bit. I love this series. It's
Yeah.
not in that I think it's great,
Sure. No.
but entertaining. I was surprised a lot of people seem to have that opinion. And
Yeah,
they liked it. Did you like it?
I did.
Oh, cool.
So, which is weird because it's also a comedy.
Oh, yeah. Except for the first one, they've pretty much all been comedies.
I think I've only seen the first 3,
Mm.
so that's probably on me. And it's been a long time. Like it's been a very long time. But yeah, I love the first one. I like the concept a lot. I like the way that they set a lot of these stories up and these little vignettes of like horrible deaths. So I had very low expectations of Bloodlines just because it's like, okay. And like the trailer is like a full scene from the film. And I was like, are you
Oh, weird.
kidding? Like, great. I'm going to have to sit through the scene again when I see the movie, which I never enjoy. But it's so well told and just really hits this specific strand of humor. It knows what it is and it leans so into it that it's just really enjoyable. It had a lot of similarities to me to The Monkey in that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like it felt like a spiritual sibling or cousin to that film. Like it just, I don't know, like it's not perfect, but like it's really fun. It's probably the second best one, to be honest.
That's that's what I've been hearing from people that really love the series.
Yeah, I would definitely check it out. I think I don't know. There's a couple of moments in it when I think back, I'm like, that is fucking hilarious. But there's also plenty of, just like stupid shit in there too. But I really do think that it's a film that knows exactly what it is and it just goes for it and it's smart and it's clever and the gruesome, weird deaths are so fucking gruesome and so weird and so well told ahead. And you're just like, oh my God, is that going to kill you? No. Is that going to kill you? No. That almost killed you, but not. It's a lot of fun.
Now you're dead.
And now you're dead.
What number sequel is this then?
I think it's 6.
Oh, it is?
6.
Yeah.
I thought there was a Final Destination 6 already. So I thought
think
we
so.
were
I know,
an
but
8 or something.
I honestly
that was
don't know. But from what I've heard around the ether, I think it's 6, but
Okay.
who knows? I know that is it HBO or somebody who's got all of them in their top 10. All of them are in the top
Wow.
10 out of complete order as well. So it's like number 1, and then it's like 5, 3, 2, whatever. It's like, okay.
everyone's got the greatest opening. I guess like the log one is
Oh,
probably
sure.
right up there in the top 3.
Yeah.
Right. A kind of ballsy to call it Bloodlines when like one of the worst Hellraiser subtitles is Bloodlines.
Bloodlines.
Wouldn't you avoid a really bad?
I really feel like it knows what it's doing.
Okay.
Very cool.
Aw.
So earlier this week, I think, Love, Death, and Robots season 4
It did.
came out,
Yeah.
and I watched all of them.
Yeah.
Overall, there's some really good ones. A
Yeah.
couple real stinkers, but or not real stinkers, just kind of. The Close Encounters of the Mini kind is ridiculously adorable.
That's cute.
Aw.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of them
No,
yet?
I haven't
It's like
seen.
the tilt to make things look miniature. It looks, I mean, it's animated, so it's done directly, but that's what it looks like. It's looked like tilt shift shooting.
That's so cute.
I also really liked How Zeke Got Religion, which was the World War II.
Yes. I loved that
That
one.
one was so good. Let's see, skip the ones that are okay, but was it 400 Boys? Yeah, the art in that one with the post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
The art is so cool. I'm pulled out a little bit when it looks like video game art
Hmm.
because, okay, yeah, that looks really good. But it looks,
Looks like the cutscene of a
Yeah.
video game. Yeah.
and I was pulled out of, I forgot which one it was. Oh, the Screaming of the Tyrannosaurus. Yeah, because the guy doing the main vocals, I'm like, God, this guy is kind of a weak actor, but he sounds really familiar. And it was Mr. Beast,
Oh.
the YouTube guy.
Oh, the guy
He's-
with the cookies.
Is he
okay.
an actor?
Apparently not.
Oh, no.
Because I thought he was it was a weird combination of he sounds like he knows what he's doing, but he's just not delivering these lines well. Yeah, because that's what he does on his show is announce shit that's going on.
Oh, okay.
But instead of it being natural sounding like his show generally does, it sounded like he was reading lines. It's very weird. It's kind of a neat one, but it's...
I remember that one I was kind of bored with about halfway through. I liked how
Yes.
it ended, but otherwise I was like, this didn't need to be 9 minutes long. It could have been 6 minutes long.
And it's also one of the computer looking kind of ones.
Yeah.
And of course, For He Can Creep with the cats.
With the cats.
You can check that one out.
I'm
It is-
excited.
It is so
That one and the
funny.
other one with the cat and the AI robot was
Yes.
very cute.
Are these
Yeah.
all about 10 minutes long then?
There's I think the
Varies.
longest might be 17 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and there's
Yeah.
one that's like 5. Plus, if you look at the runtime,
That's the shitty one. One of them is a Red Hot Chili Peppers song.
oh yeah, I
with
knew you'd love
puppets.
that one
And it's
by
just
David Fincher of all people.
it's
Oh my
just a
God.
video of
Yeah,
the song,
it's-
and I was like,
That sounds very
I
lazy.
can't wait to get past this to see what this episode is about. It was the
That's
song.
it.
I
It
was
was-
Oh
furious.
my God.
Yeah. Well,
That
I mean, there's
sucks.
definitely things against you for that one right from the beginning, being the big Red Hot Chili fan that you are.
Hey, man.
But what was the? Oh yeah, Smart Appliance Stupid Owners as the other cat one.
Cute. Yeah.
But overall, well worth watching. But when you watch them too, oh man, it's 15 minutes long. The credits for every one of them are like 2 to 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the vignettes are actually shorter than you think
Oh.
they're going to be.
Remember, this started
But-
life as it was supposed to be a reboot of the heavy metal animated
Mhm.
movie.
Really?
Yeah.
David Fincher had been attached to it and everything, and then that all fell apart. And then all of a sudden, this shows up on Netflix, and it was like, oh, I see what happened. You already got shit going on, and you're like, well, I'll do it myself then. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
Wow.
Fincher, I've
And-
got enough money to put 10 animated shorts together.
And I think that, every season is hit or miss, but I'd love
Yeah.
to grab like 2 out of all of these and put together a real movie from this. Because some of the, that that How Zeke Got Religion, I was like, did you notice that
So good.
a lot of the best ones were actually based on short stories too, huh? That were
Oh.
adapted from
Yeah.
novelists and stuff like that. And that Zeke one was one. And I was like, I'm going to have to find this now because I want to read the story.
I was just about to ask you, did you look it up? Because I would love to read that, because that one
Yeah.
was unexpectedly good. It
Yeah.
started off going, oh, this will be all right. But by the end, I'm like, holy fuck, man.
Yeah, really good. That is called Love, Death, and Robots, and it is on Netflix.
Yep.
Okay, what do I want to talk about?
Mm.
I've seen a lot. I guess I will talk about Karate Kid Legends.
Oh my
really?
God.
That's the movie
You-
one
You're
that just
the one
came
who
out.
went and saw
right?
it. Or didn't. Go
I
in.
did.
Oh, okay.
And it is better than it has to be,
Oh, good.
Okay.
and really cute, and actually goes in, believe it or not, a area that I was like, I did not see this coming in this very formulaic series of films that all follow the same thing.
Yeah.
It did something different with it. And then,
Oh,
of
that's
course,
cool.
it did the weird thing of bringing together Jackie Chan from the reboot
Yeah.
and then what's his name? Daniel LaRusso,
Oh, okay.
because in this, Jackie Chan's character knows Mr. Miyagi
Oh.
and comes to visit the Miyagi dojo and ask for Daniel's help training this student. It's what do you want from these movies? It's a bunch
Yeah.
of kids, fighting kung fu and karate in New York City this time.
Oh, wow. Big city fight.
How's the kid in it? Like, how's
Really
the
good.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
I loved him.
Good.
Yeah, because that's a big make
Will-
or break.
Yeah, but not Will Smith. Was it Will Smith's kid, or was
It
it?
was Will
It was
Smith's
Will
kid.
Smith's kid.
Yeah, and that one was combination of a little young
Yeah.
for the kind of story and not quite ready to be the guy kind of carrying a movie.
No.
Mm.
No, this kid is great,
Good.
and there's a lot of surprising actors who pop up, and you're just like, oh, I'm glad to see that this guy is still working and stuff like that.
Oh,
Where,
nice.
does it feel like it continues on from where the show left off?
So I'll be honest, I stopped watching the show,
Same.
and
Yeah, same here.
I assume that it does because it shows up at the Miyagi dojo, and there is nobody there, and I was like, oh, I wonder if this ended.
I mean, because it ended, right?
Yeah.
The show ended.
Yeah,
ended.
it
So
got
like,
canceled or ended.
I
Right.
think it ended. I mean, they would have milked that cow for all of time.
Right. Right. So yeah, and this time they of course have to amp everything up. So the tournament is basically street fighting in the various boroughs of New York.
Oh, wow.
But it's a sanctioned fight,
Oh,
and
okay.
it just happens in like an alleyway for this one, or it's almost like watching a video game. So I had a lot of fun with it.
That sounds a lot more interesting than I was expecting.
Eric, you will like
I-
it.
I-
I'm not sure that you will like it.
It's always, I know, I'm a little bit of a mixed bag, but so are you.
How dare.
That's
I
fair.
sometimes think that I know exactly what you're going to be into, and I am
Swing
sometimes
and a miss.
disastrously wrong. Speaking of which, I went and saw a film called Friendship, which stars it's Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd. Are you guys into Tim Robinson?
Yeah,
He's done some really good stuff.
he's funny.
Yeah.
I like Paul
Sure he
Rudd a
is.
lot.
Not in this one, huh?
So I like Paul Rudd a lot, and I was like,
That's in
maybe,
everyone.
Yeah, I know exactly. Like I saw Clueless, I had feelings. So I don't know. I am, as you guys know, I don't have much of a sense of humor or a very specific sense of humor.
Yes,
I'm jury's
it's-
kind of out.
That's probably more accurate.
Yeah, I have a very specific sense of humor. And so I have long ago said to my husband, hey, why don't you watch that show without me? Because I'm not really into this Tim Robinson show or shows or whatever it is he gets up to.
Okay.
Don't find him
Is
very
this,
interesting.
I thought, is this a movie or a TV show?
This is a movie.
Oh, okay.
And so when this movie came out, I was like, maybe it'll have a little of sense of humor, but it's Paul Rudd. So it's probably just like a comedy that he had. No, it's like Tim Robinson style, like skit over a film
Oh.
length.
Oh,
And ahead of time, at some point, I ate something I should not have. I don't know exactly what, but I had ever increasing food poisoning coming upon me while sitting through this movie.
That doesn't help.
It did not help. Nothing about this film made it pleasant or interesting to me personally. It was sort of like, okay, I guess I'm watching some people act, and that's fun. Good job for you guys. And that's it. I don't know. I don't like it.
I'll be honest, I haven't heard anything about this or
Sure.
seen a trailer or anything.
Really?
No.
I've seen the poster. That's
Okay.
it.
Yeah, no, it's the story of like a guy who gets like a new neighbor and they become like man best friends. And then
They just call best friends when they're men.
No, they call it, what do they call it? When like guys
A
are
bromance?
A
bromance. Yes, they form a touching bromance. And then
Aw.
Paul Rudd cuts
That
it
makes
off.
it sound really different when you use that word, though.
Oh, well, I don't know what they get up to. It's
You
fine.
never know.
You know what?
Yeah, that's
Guys
right.
do what guys do. I'm not gonna judge that. That's up to them. So
There you go.
as long as it's consensual. So anyway, so Tim Robinson being the awkward one, of course, does some weird stuff. Paul Rudd cuts off their friendship, and then Tim Robinson goes off the deep end, trying to regain the friendship and not understanding why the friendship broke off and being like overly needy, and it goes into weird places. And I don't know that the story really has a beginning, middle, or end. Probably beginning. I don't know about the rest.
Starts
So-
at some point, it ends at some point.
Yes. There is a time that ticks by. There's a clock
There you go.
that exists for this film. So that's the setup. And it's got Kate Mara in it. She does a great job. But I don't know. I think a lot of people thought it was very funny. It was filled with a theater. I mean, it was like a late night screening, like 10 p.m. Pretty small theater, completely filled.
Oh, wow.
So it was popular amongst its fans. I
Were
just was not
people-
one of them. And I just
Were
sat there
people
thinking,
laughing during this?
yes,
Okay.
very much so. And I was like, I'm so glad that Austin's having a good time. I can't wait to be
I need to
yes.
empty out this this popcorn bucket really quick
And
here.
then I spent, the next 12 hours throwing up. But definitely not because of the film. So
Well, okay, there's a little niceness there.
Yeah.
Friendship. All right.
friendship.
I'm going to look for it.
You should watch a trailer and you decide yourself if this is for you.
So I went to see the seemingly horror movie of the moment. Apparently on its last day in theater, I think, called Bring Her Back.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that means I missed it.
Either of you seen this one?
No.
Okay. Talk to me.
Yeah.
Thoroughly enjoyable,
Yeah.
fun, kind of scary movie. It was actually scary at times. And people calling this movie a scary movie, I think, are way off base.
Huh.
It's a horrifying movie.
It really is.
Is it like Hereditary? Like it's just
It's
like a...
Darker than Hereditary, man. It is
What?
dark as fuck.
Yes.
And it is deeply depressing. And just
Yeah.
the end image is still burned in my head. And it's not like Hereditary, the head thing or anything like that. It's a very stagnant image, but it's just like, fuck me. And it's brutal. It is really hard to watch. I don't know if I would recommend anybody with a small child check this film out unless you are really knowing you're going to go into some horrible, dark shit.
Oh.
I'll go a
With
step
it.
further. This is a very good film. I would
Yes.
never recommend it to anyone.
Yeah, that's fair.
Wow.
Yep. It's incredibly well done.
I texted everybody in the guys thread and
Oh,
said,
yeah.
"Bring her back. I need a fucking hug."
Yeah.
That is what I heard from a film reviewer I really like, was just that it's very depressing. And so I kept putting it off because I was like, well, I don't really feel like being depressed right now and like
It's
paying money for
depressing's being nice to it. It's brutal.
It's also-
brutally depressing.
It's also like before any of the supernatural stuff happens, my anxiety just kept getting ramped up by how crazy this person was in the
Yes.
film and the things
Huh.
she was doing to this young child, and I was just like going, I am really wigged out by this character and this movie, and nothing supernatural has happened yet.
Yeah.
It's already the worst situation in the world if none of the horror stuff happens.
Right. Yeah. If the stuff that's going on with Oliver wasn't happening, it'd still be fuck.
Huh.
The performances are universally amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kid Oliver who's on the poster, I don't know how you get a kid his age to pull off what he did,
Yeah.
but Jesus, he is really good. It is an astoundingly well-made movie. It is also a movie I will never watch again.
No,
Yeah.
no.
No way.
I wonder if
Never
this-
look at a butcher knife the same, that's for sure,
God,
without
Jesus
without flashing
Christ.
to a particular
Oh,
scene
yeah.
where I was. Vanessa, I was watching it like this. It was just
God,
like
that was horrible.
I wanted to. I was like, I
Oh
can't.
my
And he has
God.
2 or 3 scenes like
I
that.
know.
Oh.
The
How old is the kid in it?
There's 3 kids. The one that Eric is talking about is
Oliver's-
probably 11, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
There's then a young man, 18 maybe, and then his younger sister who's maybe also 11.
Yeah, somewhere around in
And-
that. And she's basically blind.
Yeah,
She can see
she's
shapes and stuff.
fantastic.
Jesus,
The
yeah.
older brother is fantastic. The foster mom is fantastic.
Mhm.
But I mean, this felt like a movie where I was like, I don't feel like the woman playing the foster mom will ever get another role because people will be like, oh, we can't hire her. She's horrible.
Yeah, if she didn't have such a pedigree of work, and this is it's like what's his name from Henry Portrait of the Serial Killer.
Yeah.
It took me years to watch him and anything else without going, nope, you're one creepy motherfucker. But I mean,
Yeah.
I Talk to Me and now this, both astoundingly good films in
Wow.
completely different ways.
Yeah.
It's crazy because I feel like this person, I mean, the word isn't right. Torture porn is not right. I wonder if they're creating new genre like depression porn.
It is. No, it's an ongoing thing with, I've talked about in the show a lot, where last couple of years there's been this undercurrent of family drama horror.
Yeah.
And this is that turned way the hell up.
Wow.
And it's all family based
Yeah.
and it's all just dark and vicious and
It's also grief horror.
yeah,
You know,
that's
and the
yeah.
lengths a person will go to when they lose somebody and
Yep.
stuff like that, which is, kind of common now.
Yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, oof,
Yeah.
what a film.
Well,
And the problem was, for me, I watched nothing about this. I just saw like people posting about it and saying, "Oh, it's the scariest movie I've ever seen." It's like, this isn't scary. It's horrifying. It's
Yeah.
hard to watch, but it's not a movie. I don't know. When I think of a scary movie, I think of like Terrified or Talk to Me or something like that, where it's creepy and scary, but there's a twist of fun to it,
yeah.
where it's not entirely based on
It's like different.
horrors of life.
Yeah, different levers of anxiety. It's like,
Yeah, that's could be. Yep.
mm,
So
Yeah, Bring Her Back. So that was the last day in theaters. So
I think so.
it
Yeah.
must be coming to streaming very quickly.
Yeah, because I was planning on going on a Thursday, and I looked up, it's like, didn't seem to be playing any place on a Thursday. Guess I'll go Wednesday.
Mark Ronner texted me and he
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, my review for Bring Her Back is up. Have you seen it? And I said, no, I really want to. And he said, don't read my review, but call me when you've seen it. And
Aw.
I just texted him afterwards. I was like, I could use a fucking hug.
Yeah, it's
And yeah, well, I can't wait to see what they do next.
oh hell yeah, they're definitely
I hope
appointment
it's,
watching.
I hope it's Talk to Me,
Where somebody else goes to the hand.
Well, I mean, that's what it is. It is Talk to Me is the sequel to Talk to Me.
No, it's already
But
in.
but I wasn't sure why they didn't go right to that
Oh.
and why they went to a different story
Is
instead.
it in the same universe? This film?
No.
Okay.
Well,
It-
I mean, there's no
there's
obvious
no
side to
connective
it.
tissue,
Okay.
but unless there's something in the background, them as writers are going, hey, this is actually da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Look at the beer bottle. It's
Yeah.
the same company.
When she goes to play in the sports place, the guy that she hits is actually I don't know.
So I mean, Talk to Me had some pretty graphic,
Oh yeah.
imagery
Oh, yeah.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But you're right. There's something about being scared by a supernatural thing that is fun. That's why we love these movies.
Right.
There was just nothing fun in Bring Her Back.
Really wasn't.
Wow.
Just when you think, okay, they've gone deep enough. Nope, guess what?
Yeah.
Here's something else.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, why don't we take a little break and we can wash our brains of the movie we saw. And then when we come back, we are talking about sci-fi from the 70s.
Alpha team in danger! Code red! Liftoff!
This is Space 1999 Eagle 1 spaceship.
Alpha control, we have contact!
You can jettison the cockpit and engines, then link them up. It's Mini Eagle 1 in visual contact.
Alpha control hookup is a go!
And their Eagle 1 rescue phase is complete.
Eagle 1, Roger and out!
Space 1999 Eagle 1 spaceship comes with 3-inch figures. Assembly required. New from Mattel.
And we are back. Eric, this was your subgenre pick.
That's right. We're twisting and turning out into the same area again.
Okay.
1970s sci-fi.
Okay.
Yeah.
The year the dystopian horror or sci-fi film kind of had its reign.
You don't say. I mean, I know mine is pretty rough. You want to start us off then?
Alrighty.
I can give you 5 minutes.
So I'm starting off in 1972 with Silent Running.
A space convoy on a strange voyage, carrying a rare cargo. The forests, the plants, the growing things doomed to extinction on Earth.
We have just received orders to abandon and nuclear destruct all the forests and return our ships to commercial service. We're going home! You can't blow up this forest. Now move! You're not gonna go.
Silent Running. Cataclysm in outer space. Every moment bringing its own danger as man explores the mysteries of an unknown and limitless universe.
Valley Forge, what the hell's wrong? You're moving out, you're accelerating.
I've got a premature detonation on dome number 2, and I've got an explosion in the main cargo deck. Now, please advise me immediately.
Give me Barker.
I can't find Barker. I can't find Wolf or Keenan either. I'm afraid, Neil, that they might have been in dome number 2.
Dome number 1.
Meet the almost human drones, amazing companions on a journey beyond the stars.
The man has a full house, and he knew it. Now, how about that?
Hear Joan Baez sing Rejoice in the Sun and Silent Running.
Listen, Lowell, if you continue as is, we figure you'll hit the northeastern quadrant of Saturn's outer ring tomorrow morning.
This is available to rent in a lot of different places. It's not a hard film to find. The director by Douglas Trumbull, who did Brainstorm, Back to the Future, The Ride, tons of shorts. Main thing he was known for is doing effects. He did like 2001, Close Encounters, the first Star Trek movie, Blade Runner, The Man Who Killed Hitler, and then Bigfoot.
Oh, is that him?
Yeah, as the effects guy.
Oh, okay.
Written by Derek Washburn, who wrote Extreme Prejudice and The Deer Hunter. Interesting pedigree for this. Michael Simono, who also was involved in The Deer Hunter and wrote Year of the Dragon, Rose, Magnum Force, and Stephen Bochco, who, if you've watched any TV, you might recognize his name. He did 216 episodes of NYPD Blue, Doogie Howser, Cop Rock,
right.
and Hill Street Blues. So he had a time in the 80s. Lead actor is Bruce Dern. We've seen in tons of stuff, including recently The Hateful Eight, Toolbox Murders 2, Last Man Standing, and of course The Burbs.
Yes.
Well over 200 credits. Cliff Potts, who's best known for Ironside, Live and Die Again, Lou Grant, and a whole lot of TV. And Ron Rifkin, who's in LA Confidential and 105 episodes of Alias. So pretty strong acting group here. This is starts off another movie starting off with beautiful close-up shots of vegetation. This time flowers and other life forms existing. And Dern, I'm assuming they did this because they didn't want to watch him swim naked, but for some reason, beautiful, all this stuff. Then he gets in this little like water area and swims through it, and it's muddy as hell. Like, which it's not later on in the movie either. Like, okay, I see what you did there. But as you're watching, it starts to pull out further and further, and you realize you're inside kind of a biodome area in space. And he taking care of everything, and then you get a bunch of, it probably would be termed nowadays tech bro kid types driving these cool little four-wheelers around that they used to get around the station, but they're running over his vegetation and all this stuff, and he's flipping out, not being real happy with them. They are flying in the Valley Forge spacecraft, located out by Saturn. They also have a bunch of these little two-legged robots that kind of look like the little two-legged robots from Star Wars, except they actually have people in them. Little people walking around in them. But there's a great little segment in a poker game where they establish that Bruce is definitely in his own thinking on this area. And it's this really well-written scene of what could just be simple exposition, but done in a way that at least makes it interesting to listen to, where they explain why they're there or what they're doing, sort of, but that they've been out in space for a while, and they don't get into a lot of details of what they're doing. But it's just a well-done scene. It's very interesting and fun to watch. But then they get notification to destroy all the biodomes. I'm just calling them that. They don't call them that. But, and return home for whatever reason. The experiment's over, or they're not real detailed. But of course, Bruce is not happy about this because he spent the whole time making a thing. And there's not just plants. There's like little bunnies and animals running around in the area as well. And they're just going to blow everything up. And of course, the other three guys are excited to get back because in the world, there's no disease, no poverty. Everyone has a job. The temperature is 75 degrees over the whole world, but there's no art. There's no music. Everybody's the same. There's no vegetation and no trees. And Bruce was planning on coming back like a hero where he would bring back the vegetation and regrow the planet and stuff. And all that's out the window. So, of course, the guys automatically just dive into starting to blow things up. Bruce is having none of that, and shit goes sideways in really interesting ways. It's a pretty smart film, well worth watching. I'll leave it at that point to see where it goes, but highly recommend it if you like sci-fi, especially 70s sci-fi, because it's definitely late 60s, early 70s feel to it. I'll do a couple of quick notes here. There's a song sung a few times by Joan Baez. Not my favorite song, but it fits the thing. But the music, which is pretty good and fairly unique, is done by a guy named Peter Schickel, better known as PDQ Bach. And this was the first soundtrack he'd ever done. The director heard him on the Joan Baez album because he was a arranger or something for her as Peter. I had no idea P.D. Q. Bach, who's a very successful kind of comedy music guy, who that was. But he hired him based on the Baez work. And he actually did really well. It got some neat music in it. And Bruce Dern claims he was the 17th person to be offered the role.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
But yeah, pretty good. Have either of you seen this one?
So I guess maybe I need to give this another shot. I remember this being really slow. I don't think I finished it.
It's not a speedy film. It is definitely an early 70s film.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have a problem with it. Maybe because the last few years, all the weird slow shit I've been absorbing. Yeah, I didn't find it particularly slow. Solaris is definitely slower.
Right.
Yeah, I remember watching this like a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I'm probably due for a rewatch as well. I mostly remember it's Huey, Dewey, and Louie. This is where they
Right.
came from.
The robots.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I remember being like, insert meme here.
Okay, Silent Running. Well, maybe I'll put that on tonight. Vanessa, you want to go next?
Absolutely. I'm going to go with a really obvious pick for the 70s, Invasion of the Body Snatchers from 1978.
They come from a dying world. They drift through the universe, pushed on by the solar winds. They adapt, and they survive. The function of all life is survival. Sleep, sleep, sleep. From deep space, sleep. The seed is planted. Sleep, sleep. Terror grows. Sleep.
Matthew! Matthew! Matthew!
Like the others.
Elizabeth, wake up! Get you when you sleep. Sit up!
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
It's got no detail, no character. It's unformed.
All of a sudden, they're growing like parasites. Is it contagious? People are being duplicated.
How do you know my name? I didn't tell you my name.
Can't find anything in here that looks like a body.
One side's nosebleed.
It looked right at me.
You're looking at it as if it was human. It was not human.
Now, the classic fear begins to grow.
We're being cornered.
In a modern masterpiece of science fiction.
They're barricading the street.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Get down.
Starring Donald Sutherland, Brooke Adams, Leonard Nimoy. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. From deep space, the seed is planted. Terror grows.
You can check this out for free on Max, I believe is where I saw it. It looks like shit.
Oh,
I
that's too
highly
bad.
recommend just finding like the Blu-ray. I think Arrow put out a 4K.
Yeah.
I thought I owned it. I do not.
Oh.
I was really bummed. So I might go ahead and pick that up. Directed by Philip Kaufman, who is known as a writer and director. He wrote Raiders of the Lost Ark, Rising Sun and The Right Stuff, directed The Wanderers, The Right Stuff, and Bearable Lightness of Being. Quills. This was also based on a novel by Jack Finney, who wrote it in the book in 1955. And the screenplay was done by W.D. Richter, who did Big Trouble in Little China. Starring Donald Sutherland, who I have talked about in Mr. Harringen's Phone and Moonfall. He's in 198 Other Things. Brooke Adams, she was in Dead Zone, Days of Heaven, The Stuff. Jeff Goldblum, Jurassic Park, The Fly, Independence Day. Veronica Cartwright, Lambert and Alien, which again, I was like, oh, That's what you're from. Witches of Eastwick, which I believe Kelly's talked about, and The Birds, and Leonard Nimoy.
Yay.
I know. In like a totally different role, which is really fun to see him in. The story, we follow a parasitic alien thing as it abandons its dying planet and travels to Earth through space. It looks like this kind of pink fluff stuff, and it lands on some plants and becomes these seed pods that have pink flowers poking out of them. Elizabeth Driscoll is a lab scientist who's walking through a park, sees the flowers and grabs one, brings one home, and tries to find them in her like plant books and decides it's a cross-pollination because she cannot find it anywhere. Her goofy husband, who can't pick up the mail and is obsessed with watching sports, but she loves him anyway, wakes up in the morning early, puts on a suit, disposes of something outside directly into the garbage truck, then begins to act entirely differently. He's very weird. Worried, Elizabeth confides in her friend Matthew, who's this kind of crazy kooky guy from the food department who everybody hates, but he's also super lovable. Matthew promises to help her figure out what's going on and enlists his friend, who's a psychologist, Dr. David Kibner, who says to her basically, it's an epidemic in marriages and everyone isn't willing to put in the work. It's just an excuse to break things off, which is great, except for all the people around the city begin to act very strange. They communicate silently. They're hunting down people who act out and fix them by chasing them down the street. Pods start showing up, and whenever they fall asleep, doubles of people appear nearby and need to be squashed. So he might be wrong. So this film, the practical effects are incredible. It is so creepy and grotesque. I kind of forgot how absolutely just amazing it is visually. Yeah. Watching the plants just slowly move and creep with their little tendrils is so fucking good. The squashy pod people are so good. The homeless man who sleeps with his dog, who ends up as a dog man, is so good. I was like, oh my God, what the fuck? The background, I think the little details in this film really sell it too. There's always a garbage truck going around in the morning full of like fluffy, like black fluffy shit that it crushes and constantly. And you're like, what the hell is this? And they never talk about it. You just know something's going on. The hippies that are out in like the city hall lawn just disappear one day, and that just adds a lot of flavor to it. We see early on that our main actress, like, she does these fun like eye tricks, and then we watch the idiosyncrasies of Matthew, Donald Sutherland's character, who's just weird and into cooking. And you know by the end of the film that when humanity goes away, this is the stuff we lose. And it's such good character writing. I love how they do that. Anyway, a little bit of fun. God, it's so good. A little bit of fun trivia. Robert Duvall, who had previously worked with Philip Kaufman in the Great Northernfield, Minnesota raid, happened to be in San Francisco at the time of filming and shot his only scene for free, kind of. He played the crazy priest at the beginning on the swing. It's supposed to foreshadow the pod person anatomy and the alienation we feel later in the movie. According to the commentary on the DVD, he was paid with an Eddie Bauer jacket. Donald Sutherland was hit by a Volkswagen Beetle while filming a shot while he was running. He fell onto the windshield and was able to see the driver saying, "Oh God, not you." The leather half glove that Dr. David Kibner, Leonard Nimoy, wore was deliberately used for the sole purpose of making the character more distinctive and recognizable. Nimoy got the idea from a friend of his who wore it to cover a burn on his hand. The night of the movie's release, someone put pods like those in the movie all over the streets of LA. Some people got so freaked out that they thought they were real and called the police. Brooke Adams, the lead actress, challenged Donald Sutherland to a foot race during one of the film's many chase scenes. After Philip Kaufman yelled cut, they just kept going. Adams won in a dress and high heels, no less. And there's a newspaper article in the film about webs shrouding the Bay Area, which was genuine, and it happened the week before the filming commenced. So, yeah.
Whoa, that's cool.
This is one of the classics.
Yeah,
this is in my top
film.
10 favorite films of all time, and it's one that always gets left off when you talk about the rare remake that is better than the original.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't think I've seen the original, but I've read and watched Day of the Triffids. So I'm like, I feel like I've done it.
It's definitely better than Day of Triffids.
Oh, I know.
The original
better than two.
is pretty good.
The original is really
very
good. Yeah. That's what's so surprising is that this is 10 times better somehow.
I think what makes them both work is they're both very much of their time. The paranoia thing they're each talking about is different.
Yeah.
And works perfectly for when it was made. But yeah, I think this is probably in there with like the Hammer movies and some of those is the reason that led me to being a horror fan like you. It is one of my absolute favorite films. And doesn't disappoint on a rewatch.
Weird. I know that there's a Nicole Kidman version of this I've never seen.
It's very boring.
The three films, which are all kind of remakes of each other, the third one I think was Stuart Gordon, or at least he wrote it. It's also really good. So it's like
is it just Snatchers or Body Snatchers or something like that? Yeah, that one's pretty good too. It's not as strong as a story, but it's got some really good segments.
Maybe I'll have to rewatch it because I remember being like, eh.
Not the Nicole Kidman one.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
That's a different one.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, that was the fourth one. And I think there might even have been one since then.
Whoa.
There could be. I mean, it's such a easily remakeable thing.
Yeah.
But those first two are astounding. And the second one is the best.
I'm really glad for the rewatch because I have not seen this movie in years and I really did not remember how good it is. And I love that it's just got that 70s big chill energy of just people being fucking people. I love that so much.
I believe the disc is Kino Lorber. Not Arrow, so it's a lot more affordable.
No, so Arrow has the British 4K, and it's got different extras on it than Kino Lebo. I went down on a deep rabbit hole after being like, why the fuck don't I own this? What the hell is wrong with me? I think I might have had it on DVD at some point or something, but it's very mad at myself.
I've got a couple of them, but I don't know if I've got that UK one.
That is a powerhouse cast, too.
Yes.
Jesus,
and watching a lot of people I think it's before Jeff Goldblum's full Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, yeah,
and
long
so
before
having
that
young, weird energy just works so well for him. It's great.
Nemo plays that weird 70s psychologist so well. It's so well written.
Yeah.
It's just like
you just know. You're like, this guy's bad. He's just bad. You just know he's gonna be. As soon as he starts mansplaining about marriages to this chick and whisking off women from this woman from a party and being like, you think your marriage is falling apart, but I'm gonna see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. with your husband and it's gonna get fixed. And then she's fixed, and you're like, fucking, this guy's in on it. Whatever it is, he's in.
All right.
Great choice. Yes. Okay, give myself 5 minutes. Okay. And I am talking about a film from 1976 called Embryo.
Jeopardizing your career, your whole life. The results could be worth it. Nothing is worth going to jail for.
I'm not asking for anything that has a chance for life on its own. 20 years' work is beginning to take shape.
The development rate is now approximately 1 year to each 24-hour period. February 16, 2 p.m. Rapid growth still uncontrolled. Rate now about 2 years for every 24-hour period. My God, will it ever end?
Her name is Victoria, and she has just been born.
8 and 8 are 16. 16 and 16 are 32. I want to learn. To experience. Will you teach me?
You're in pain. I'm here to help you, Victoria.
I don't want to kill. I don't want to kill. I just want to live.
This is directed by Ralph Nelson, who has got a couple of big ones on here. Requiem for a Heavyweight, Once a Thief, The Wrath of God, A Hero Ain't Nothing But a Sandwich.
Nice.
My favorite.
And written by Anita Doohan, who wrote A Beverly Hills Christmas, Whispers, and Second to Die. And she wrote this with, well, she didn't write this with Jack Thomas. Jack W. Thomas, I believe, wrote the original novel. Love, Texas, 13 Fighting Men, and 20,000 Eyes.
Nice.
Starring Rock Hudson, who was in Bright Victory, Come September, Avalanche, and Pretty Maids All in a Row, which is the one that I fucking love.
Yeah.
Also in this is Barbara Carrera, who was in The Island of Dr. Moreau, Condor Man, Lone Wolf McQuaid, and Diane Ladd. She was in Something Wild, The Wild Angels, Christmas Vacation, Wild at Heart. She loves films with wild in the title. Have you guys seen Embryo?
No.
This was a first-time viewing for me, and I didn't even know about this movie. So
I remember the poster.
Well, we meet Dr. Paul Holliston, who is a geneticist who's been living alone after losing his wife in a car crash, and he has built a private genetics laboratory that is connected to his home. He is a very lonely man, and his only real friend is his sister-in-law, Martha, who also acts as his assistant. One night, Holliston accidentally runs over a pregnant Doberman Pinscher. The dog is dying, and Holliston is triggered heavily by the death of his wife to do something really stupid. He tries to save the unborn puppies of this dog, which he does by gestating it. He saves one puppy, does it by gestating it in an artificial uterus. And apparently he's a mad scientist because he uses an experimental growth hormone made from human placental material, which speeds up the embryo's growth.
Oh, my.
The dog grows to full size in a few days, and Holliston passes it off as the mother dog to disguise his secret experiment. Thanks to the serum, it, for some reason, learns incredibly fast and soon becomes a very well-trained dog. However, Holliston doesn't notice that the dog is also super smart and even more aggressive than usual. He leaves the Dobie in the car while he runs an errand, and a small Yorkie runs by and starts barking at the Doberman, who opens the car door, kills the Yorkie, drags it and hides it under a bush, gets back in the car and closes the door. Now, this is all done by a real dog, so even if it's not evil, you're like, Jesus, this is a smart dog. It's pretty fucking great. Holliston is so pleased with himself that he decides he must make a human in the same way. And he convinces a colleague to let him know when a pregnant suicide has come in and to save the fetus if possible.
Jesus.
Yeah, he applies the same technique, but the female fetus cells age uncontrollably, so he uses a different drug to counter the effect. It finally works, and the embryo quickly grows into a beautiful 22-year-old woman he names Victoria because she is his victory.
Oh, God.
He educates Victoria while she is still growing, filling her head with recordings of encyclopedias and higher mathematics, and she soon has photographic knowledge of science, literature, and culture. He begins introducing her to his friends and coworkers as a college graduate niece, and in the best scene of the movie, he takes her to a swanky party full of professors and doctors, and she wows them with a riveting game of chess against a chess champion who is played by Roddy McDowell, infuriating him when she deliberately lets him win the final move. After that, Holliston completes Victoria's education by teaching her the ways of love that night.
Of course she does.
Soon afterward, though, Victoria discovers that her cells have become aging again, and she starts taking the special drug that he had used to try and slow her aging down at the beginning. I'm going to run out of time. I'm jumping towards the end. Victoria kills his sister-in-law, and she finds out that she has to use baby cells from unborn fetuses to stay young, and targets his daughter-in-law.
Oh, God.
So will Victoria kill Holliston's son, and then surprisingly the pregnant daughter-in-law, and then also the unborn baby she needs to stop her uncontrollable aging? Yes. Will Holliston chase after her in a surprising car chase at the end of the movie and finally destroy her as she becomes an old lady? And will, in a supremely disturbing final scene.
Wow.
Will the cops stop him from drowning her and drag him away while one cop off screen says, "Holy shit, this old lady is having a baby." Sending Rock Hudson to his knees and begging them to kill it, but also sending a surprise burst of what the fuck giggles through me when the screen goes black and we hear the cry of a newborn baby. I was like, what have I just watched? It's pretty bonkers. Unfortunately, it also moves at a pace just above 0 miles per hour. So if it could have been a really shocking movie if it'd just been a little quicker. You know, I like sleazy shit. I got just a couple of pieces of trivia. A caption at the end of the movie is shown stating that the science of this movie is within our grasp, which it is not.
No, no way.
And also Joyce Brothers. Dr. Joyce Brothers has a cameo as herself at the party, but she is a biologist for some reason, rather than her actual profession as a psychologist. And I was like, what? Are you playing yourself, or are you playing... She's playing a different version of herself as a different doctor, which I didn't get.
Weird.
I was like, why did we have to name her, but then make her not who she is?
Man, people do not know how to deal with cameos. Unless you're Matt Damon.
Right. Embryo, you guys. It is wild. Man, I really, really wanted to love it. It's sleazy and everything, but it just fucking takes forever to get there.
Oh, that's too bad. It sounds bananas.
It is wild. Yeah.
They should have had her had the baby at the end and then try to use her own baby to young herself or something.
Oh,
because that's like
better.
if she was desperate to. Oh. I mean,
embryo
that's
too.
good. Yeah. That's real good.
The embryoning. Okay, so whose choice is it next? I think it's yours, Vanessa.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
are you gonna go wildly crazy
and do something other than sci-fi?
Yeah.
Or
okay.
What if we went further back in time?
Oh boy.
And we went to the 60s sci-fi, because there's a lot of 60s sci-fi I've not checked out. So that's what I'm going to lobby this back over the net, and we'll see what people do after this. But I'm going to go with 1960s sci-fi.
Sounds good.
This sounds groovy, far out, right on, and solid to me.
Psychedelic, man.
Okay, that means we're at the end of the show. We sit here and we do all of this stuff for you lovely people.
Yes.
And sometimes you lovely people give stuff back in return.
That's true.
We really love that. You can do it in a number of ways. Just liking and sharing the posts is a way of taking care of us.
That's
Come
huge.
on, you want to.
Social media, man.
Yeah,
That's
getting
where
on
it's
YouTube,
right.
Blue Sky,
thumbs upping the video, making a little comment. We love all of that stuff. Getting on the Facebook page, which is Strange Eons Radio Talk. That's very cool. And then, of course, the big one is sending any kind of donation, financial means is a big one that really helps us out. We're looking at different microphones and everything, so we're going to need that.
Yeah, especially if, we end up changing methods or, that sometimes we do things remotely. So it all helps. Like the chairs we sit on were paid for by you guys.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. By Danny Williford specifically, if I remember.
That's right. Yeah.
Thank you, Danny.
Thanks, Danny.
They're very comfy.
Love you.
Yeah, they are.
It's called value for value. If you get some value out of this, give some value back. That's all we ask. Also, what's the other way they can get a hold of us, Vanessa?
You can also check in with us and let us know what's going on with you. Ask us questions, to talk about yourself by leaving us a message on the Strange Eons radio hotline. And that can be a voice message or a text message. That number is 253-237-4266. And we would love to hear from you. So get in contact.
Definitely.
Last episode, we played a Micah recording, and I was like, God damn it, Micah. You're going to have to call us on a landline so I can actually understand you or something.
I worked that as much as I could, man. That was like, Jesus, dude. Are you calling with the phone sitting on the dashboard,
Like he's got us on speakerphone.
He lives by some big electrical wires, too. I've had many a time where I'm like, you can hear every fifth word, and I'm going to parse this. What are we talking about right now? Micronauts.
Yes.
There you go.
All right, guys. So that's the show. We will be back in 2 short weeks.
That's right.
And we are talking about 1960s sci-fi. See you next Thursday. Transportation and other considerations for Strange Eons Radio produced by Pan Am Airlines. When you think of traveling, think of Pan Am. You can't beat the experience. Guests of Strange Eons Radio stay at Econo Lodge Everett. It's an easy stop on the road, you know what we mean. Strange Eons Radio is recorded live in front of a studio audience. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider leaving us a positive review on your favorite podcast app. Sit, Ubu, sit.
I'm so glad that Austin's having a good time.